care of a few housekeeping points before our bridal party arrives. It's probably a good time right now to remind everyone just to put their phones on silent or turn them off altogether, just so that there's no interruptions during the ceremony. I also need to let you all know that directly after the ceremony, the bride and groom would like you to stay around for a few photos and then just head straight back up the path that you came, straight past the herb garden and to the botanical restaurant, where drinks and canapes will be served from 5 p.m. Probably don't go with Bryce, he did get lost during the rehearsal, so probably best to find someone else to go with. Also just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that the couple just has one simple request, that they want to have a fun, relaxed ceremony. So please mingle, take the time to enjoy yourself, and I'll let you know as soon as our bridal party is almost here. Thanks. Are you happy for me to stand? Yeah, Bevan has to do it. And then I'm going to find Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to welcome our bridal party. So those guests with seats, if you don't mind standing. Guests with chairs, please be seated. Friends and family, today we are here to celebrate these two incredible people, Katie and Ben, and their love for one another. A lot of you already know that our couple has a long and rich history together, dating back to the Year 10 high school semi-formal. A short 9.5 years later, they stand before us today, ready to make the ultimate commitment to each other. Katie and Ben, as your friends and family, we couldn't think of two people more compatible and more deserving of a long and happy future together than the two of you. Today we are not celebrating what will be, but what in fact already is. For as long as I've known these two amazing individuals, it's always been Katie and Ben. And they are here today sharing with us what they've always known in their hearts, that they are each other's best friends, partners in crime, and ultimately each other's soulmates. You really do share something rare and beautiful, and I think at various times have taught us all the importance of bringing fun into our own relationships and the playfulness that we so often forget about. I personally know this is something that I will never forget, and nor will any of us here today. So on behalf of everyone, thank you, Katie and Ben, for including us in your special day. Katie, Ben says of you that you are the sweetest, most caring person he knows, always seeing the best in everyone. You are selfless, always putting others before yourself. You make him want to be a better person. Today, he vows to always put you before anyone. Ben, Katie says of you that you are thoughtful, loving, and you always make her laugh. You know her better than she knows herself. You are her strength to get through any day, and you are her best friend. She vows today to always be your best friend through life, and to never stop laughing at your jokes. Katie and Ben have asked a good friend to share a reading with you that really sums up not only the light-hearted side of life, but the light-hearted side of their relationship. I'm now going to invite Jenna Ferguson to share with you Why I Like You from Samuel Stoddard.
Congratulations, guys. I like you. I like you and I know why. I like you because you're a good person to like. I like you because when I tell you something special, you know it's special, and you remember it a long, long time. You say, remember when you told me something special? And we both remember. When I think something is important, you think it's important too. We have good ideas. When I say something funny, you laugh. I think I'm funny, and you think I'm funny too. Ha ha! I like you because you know where I'm ticklish, and you don't tickle me there, except just a little bit sometimes. But if you do, I know where to tickle you too. You know how to be silly, that's why I like you. If I'm getting ready to pop a paper bag, then you're ready to jump. Hooray! I like you because when I'm feeling sad, you don't always cheer me up right away. Sometimes it's better to be sad. You can't stand the others being so googly and gaggly every single minute. You want to think about things. It takes time. I like you because if I'm mad at you, then you're mad at me too. It's awful when the other person isn't. They're so nice and you could just punch them in the nose. I can't remember when I didn't like you. It must have been lonesome then. Even if it was the 999th of July. Even if it was August. Even if it was way down the bottom of November. I would go on choosing you, and you would go on choosing me too. And that's just how it would happen, every time.
Thank you, Jenna. Today isn't about two people learning what it takes for a relationship to work. Katie and Ben have had incredible role models throughout their lives, not only teaching them these values every single day, but in fact showing them and living them. In marriages everywhere, two individuals leave the families that raised them to begin a new family of their own. Katie and Ben would like to acknowledge their parents, Pete and Leanne Walker, and Sue and Rick Younger, in today's ceremony. Katie and Ben's parents have given the foundations for a solid future together. Katie's parents married for 27 years and Ben's for 34. Katie and Ben feel honoured and privileged to have watched you love and support each other in your marriages, and they feel confident to take this step today because of your lessons. At this time, we ask the parents of our bride and groom to please stand to bless this marriage. Do you, as the parents of the bride and groom, who have lovingly raised and nurtured these two individuals, offer your blessing for their marriage, promising to support them, understand them, and encourage them in their solemn endeavour in the years ahead? With this commitment made, Katie and Ben have asked their parents to share their secret ingredients to a successful marriage. And now invite Sue and Leanne to come forward to share this secret recipe.
It's a handed-down recipe combined from both sets of parents to our loving children, Katie and Ben, for a successful marriage. 1 cup of love, say I love you every chance you get. 5 teaspoons of hope, be supportive of each other and an encourager. 2 cups of loyalty, remember falling in love is easy, but staying in love requires work. 2 teaspoons of tenderness, walk together and remember you're never too old to hold hands. 3 cups of forgiveness, continue to be each other's best friends. 1 cup of friendship, have fun together, lots of laughter.
Also add generous helpings of kindness, just the loveliest attribute on top of my list. Compromise, practice releasing defensive thoughts, and just giving when it doesn't really matter. I'm still practicing that. Communication, when annoyed with each other, think about why, then verbalise your response.
Take love and loyalty and mix thoroughly. Blend it with tenderness and hope. Add friendship and forgiveness. Add a dash of all the other ingredients and sprinkle with laughter.
In attempting this recipe, it is recommended that you allow plenty of time together. Sit on the veranda to drink tea in the morning and wine in the evening, or most evenings. These are rituals of connection, but are also about planning a life together.
Realise that these ingredients won't always be fresh or easy to obtain. It may take some tweaking and a while to learn, but it is foolproof. Bake it with sunshine, serve generous helpings daily, best served hot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick and Sue and Pete and Leanne. I'm sure you're both sets of extremely proud parents today, and rightly so. The time has now come for Katie and Ben to share their own vows with each other, making symbolic promises to one another for the eternity of their marriage. Before they do, I am duly authorised by law to solemnise marriages according to law. Before you are joined in marriage in the presence of me and these witnesses, I am to remind you of the solemn and binding nature of the relationship you are now about to enter. Marriage, according to law in Australia, is the union of a man and woman to the exclusion of all others, voluntarily entered into for life. Ben, I'm going to ask you to go first, even though it's normally women first. I think that Katie won't mind on this occasion. Ben has prepared the following vows to read to Katie and makes these promises to you on this very special day.
Ready?
Are you ready?
I ask the people here present to witness that I, Benjamin Brisson Walker, take you, Katie Jane Younger, to be my lawfully wedded wife, my friend, my lover. I promise to continue to try and hold your hand in public, even though I'm not comfortable with public displays. I promise to never go to bed angry, to try and be more organised, and tell you when I'm going to climb the roof at the end of a celebration. I promise to always wipe away your tears, make you smile, and give you strength to get through any tough day. I promise to be there to give you a hug before you know you need one, and to never take you for granted. I promise to love you to the moon and back all the days of my life.
Katie, it's now your turn to make your promise to Ben.
I ask the people here present to witness that I, Katie Jane Younger, take you, Benjamin Brisson Walker, to be my lawfully wedded husband, my friend, my lover. I promise to always laugh at your jokes, even when no one else does. I promise to be organised enough for the both of us. I promise to let you wipe my tears. I promise to treat every day like an adventure and explore our love wholeheartedly, showing you compassion and courage. I promise to hold our dreams tight and to never take you for granted. I promise to love you to the moon and back all the days of my life.
It's now time to exchange the rings, and I'm going to ask Ben's brother Sam and the best man if he has the rings. Hoping he does. Great. Ben, if you don't mind placing them. Ben, please take Katie's ring. Place the ring on the end of Katie's finger. Do you, Katie, accept this man Ben as your husband, joining with him today in matrimony, offering your friendship and loving care, honouring his growth and freedom as well as your own, cherishing and respecting him, loving and embracing him in times of adversity and times of joy? Katie, please take Ben's ring. Place it on the end of his finger. Do you, Ben, accept this woman, Katie, as your wife, joining with her today in matrimony, offering your friendship and loving care, honouring her growth and freedom as well as your own, cherishing and respecting her, loving and embracing her in times of adversity and times of joy?
I do.
Katie and Ben, in the presence of your family and friends who have joined you to share this moment of joy, you have declared your deep love and affection for each other. You have stated your wish to always have a deeper, richer friendship and partnership. You have formed your own union based on respect and honour. It is with great pleasure that I now pronounce you husband and wife, and Ben, you may kiss your bride. To take a few moments out to make this official so no one runs off. In the meantime, they would like to share with you a special song, Mango Tree by Angus and Julia Stone, and we'll join you in a few moments.
They can sign the register. Like,
So I need you to write your print your full name on that first line and then your name on. And then your signature is the underneath that. And just whichever way this way will make it easy for you. Just get you to print your full name. Bridegroom, signature of bridegroom. Your bride. And then we need your signature on the actual. So Sam, directly under. Yeah, signature this time. Okay, so then we have, that's the one you get to see. And then we need you to sign this one. the fancy one. So, that's your signature bridegroom. And signature bride. Make sure I'm out. And then witnesses. Am I allowed to come in the middle, or is that like no? Yeah. Like, I was like that a few moments. I should have written my signature. Yeah, that's fine.
Well,
Everyone's done 3 signatures. Great. Any more photos?
that's okay.
Taught by your devoted parents, and the love and friendship that you have for one another continue to make you eternally happy. May you be standing, blessing your own children's marriage after a lifetime together, as both your parents have blessed yours here today. May you always be as happy as you are right in this very moment, as you embark on a new journey together as husband and wife. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to announce for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Walker. Congratulations, Benny. Hey Sam, how are you? Yeah. I
What about the other? Absolutely.
Bit of Photoshop, bit of Lightroom.
Thank you so much, Geordie.
I tried to get that it doesn't
I know it's
We'll get to that in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Anna. I'm the sister of the groom today, and now, of course, also the very proud sister-in-law of Katie, and very pleased to be your coordinator this evening. A couple of people have suggested I'm the entertainer. I've actually fixed that. I'm the coordinator for the evening. No pressure. Just out the front here is the table for any, and the wishing well for any presents or cards. There's also up the front here a tree that has been drawn up by my lovely mother, and it's for you to come and plant your fingerprints as leaves around the tree. So one way of capturing the uniqueness of all the lovely people here tonight. Now maybe we just a little bit of a get to know each other exercise. And Vinny Warner. Mr. and Mrs. Ben and Katie Walker.
I'm Jen, Katie's younger sister. I want to start by congratulating Katie and Ben and thanking you both for letting me be a part of your special day. So Katie and Ben, where do I start? I'm sure most of you agree the names Katie and Ben almost seem to go together, as well as famous couples in history such as Tarzan and Jane and Wills and Kate. Katie and Ben seem to have always been together. It's hard to remember back before Katie didn't know Ben. I first met Ben when I was only 11, so I don't think it's necessary to welcome Ben to the family, as he's already been part of our family for such a long time. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with his love of rugby and rum, but Ben has always fit in so well. Speaking of rugby, I don't think it's any coincidence the Reds have a bye tonight. Ben is lucky to have such a great person in his life. Katie is honestly one of the most caring and genuinely nice people I know. Although this does make for a hopeless shopping partner overseas. Walking through the markets, Katie honestly feels sorry for the store holders and ends up bartering up. Then, don't let her loose in the markets in Vanuatu. She may come back with something completely unnecessary, but the store holder can now feed his family for a whole week. Growing up, I probably wasn't the perfect little sister. I did have a special talent of knowing how to push Katie's buttons. One day she decided she had enough of me constantly annoying her and slapped me in the back. I immediately fell to the floor, claiming long-term kidney damage. Katie ended up crying louder than me because she genuinely felt bad for hurting me, even though I may have been faking it. We may have had the occasional fight or misunderstanding, but as annoying as I was, and I'll be the first to admit it, Katie was the best sister I could ask for. I was trying to think about words of advice to give Katie and Ben, but I don't think I'm in any position to be doing this. By the looks of things, they probably don't need any. They seem to have it all worked out. Today has been a long time coming, but I hope Katie and Ben continue to have a loving friendship and partnership, enjoy success and laughter, and that they are blessed with children. That one was for you, Mum. I wish you both the very best and know you enjoy a happy and successful life together. Please raise your glasses to Katie and Ben. Here's to love, laughter, and happily ever after. Cheers.
Lots of children.
Bloody hell. The palm cards are going out of order, so just bear with me for some seconds. Fuck, I lost one. Okay. Oh no. Forgot to start. Got another one. Bear with me one second. So, good evening everybody. And welcome to Katie's wedding. It's nice of you all to come. Particular thanks to the groom. Ben, it would have been very difficult without you, no matter how good Katie is with a bit of craft glue, paddle pop sticks, bags of potato chips and a cutout of Josh Groban's face. Seeing as he has here, I thought you might appreciate a bit of a walk in his shoes to see some of the events and milestones that have shaped his path leading here. First of all was a lapse in judgment by our parents in opting to persevere with the Billings method of contraception. After one, they'd made the leap into parenthood 4 years earlier in the same manner. And two, they decided not to have any more children. Ben, gleeful at having outsmarted the notorious Billings, set about an industrious life in the womb, noting things he can recount for many years later as his earliest memories. Okay, next. Scorned as I was at having been pushed into the place of neglected middle child, I began nurturing Ben and, getting him used to all that this big bad world has to offer him. So, with our big sister as a capable teacher, with flying fists ever present, Ben became skilled in defence. He was also pretty good at the art of deflection, in response to ridiculous claims of bedwetting, Ben says, "Oh, Sam came in and did it." Our mum relishes Ben's aptitude for the mundane tasks that so challenge us mere mortals. And she comments that, in the journal-like entry, I'm not sure why she kept this, but Ben is one of those rare individuals that seem to excel at everything he does. Ben is content and confident that he will be able to bear the weight placed on his shoulders by the fact that he will never be wrong. Some time passes. Ben is enrolled at 8E at the Ipswich Grammar School. He meets Walden and Warner, there's probably a few others here, I'm not sure, by virtue of his last name. Forms acquaintance with Luther Llewellyn, Layla, Peters, a few others, I'm not sure how they met. Behind the tuck shop in the Rejects. After some time, somebody in this group makes the quantum leap of getting to know a girl from the girls' grammar school. And for teenagers, as it is with covalent bonds, once one is made, the electrons are shared around the whole group. The sparks just go flying everywhere. I don't really understand covalent bonds, but Ben explained it to me as theory of quantum physics. Due to his, godlike looks and mastery of all things human, girls vie for Ben's attention with such viciousness that only teenage girls can muster. I understand that there was one particular rivalry that escalated beyond any other. And enter Katie and a fellow admirer who shall remain nameless, but who proclaimed that Ben will never marry you, Katie. Never, she said. Katie emerges the victor when she takes Ben to a semi-formal and they go as a couple, and wonderful night, so I'm told. Indeed, tonight she strikes the final nail in the coffin of her most bitter rival. Suck on that, Simone. More time passes. At schoolies, Ben and Katie finally earn the title of couple. And myself, again, I take him under my wing and teach him more about how the world, or what the world has to offer him. For example, how to scull a beer properly. Yeah, he's got much of that. So it goes that I came to know everyone at the bridal table, many people in this room, including the lovely Katie. If I had to pick an event that marked the pinnacle of my nurturing of character of Ben and Katie, it would probably be a night at the sunny coast a few years ago, involving a bottle of rum and one B. Peters. I arrived late and sort of set with vigour about polishing off that bottle of rum, and I was trying to transform Ben into the hardened drinking companion that he ought to be as my little brother. So, nonetheless, Ben trundled off to bed with Katie about 7:30. 8:30, was it? Jeez. Okay. Bryce, being the trooper that he is, stayed up and helped me finish that bottle of rum. I always appreciate that, Bryce. To the beautiful bridesmaids. So good of you to look so good walking down the aisle today. They look fantastic. I think everyone will agree. The ivory is a great colour on you guys. To the beautiful bridesmaids. And in conclusion, Katie, welcome to the family. I know it's just a formality after so many years. But it's something that I'll always appreciate, having a sister who will look after Ben the way you do and is just generally so selfless. Ben, well done on getting here and for marrying a girl of Katie's calibre. And finally, Junior, I hope that I'll have you standing next to me when I'm waiting at the altar for my bride, as it's been my honour to stand beside you today. Congratulations to you both.
Who's got beautiful? Here comes the beautiful man himself. I'm not sure what you really say to cutting cakes, other than grab that knife and cut away, Katie. If you want photos, I suggest you get up nice and close. If you hit the bottom, you've got to kiss the nearest man.
Go, Lizzie, go.
Don't touch, that'll be disastrous. Oh my God, she hit the bottom. There must be a kiss. They're requesting more kisses. This is a PG affair. Keep the tongue out of it. That was M.
Thanks, Yana.
Thanks, Greg.
No, I'm going to leave it like this. I'm all relaxed. Thank you, Father. Thanks very much, everyone. In the past few months, I've had an awful lot of advice about this reception. Most of it's about keeping the speech short. Even as recently as tonight, Katie's godfather, Joe, said, Rick, always remember there's a start and there's an end. Try and keep them as close together as possible. What would he know? Firstly, on behalf of Sue and myself, Pete and Leanne, I'd like to welcome you all here tonight. Family, friends, relatives. I hope you had a wonderful afternoon. Thankfully the rain held off, and enjoy yourselves tonight. That's the important thing. And thanks for coming. I'd like to make a special mention to my father, Katie's grandfather, Chuck, his wife Anne, also to Leanne's father, Doug, and also Anne. There must be something with Anne, so I think it makes it easy, doesn't it? It's great. I know my father has been looking forward to this event for quite a long time. It's a milestone in his life. It's the first grandchild being married, finally. So he's looking forward to it. It's now arrived. So the next thing he's looking forward to, as Yana so delicately put it, great grandchildren. So no pressure, guys, but you know, it's up to you. Give a day, just a day. There's a couple of people I'd like to acknowledge about getting this reception organised and having it in place and being done. First of all, Pete Leanne, thank you very much. To Jack, Jen and Bindi for your behind the scenes work, thank you very much. To my darling wife Sue, for your efforts in cutting, pasting, sewing, gluing, whatever other things you can do to all those other things you can do to invitations, attachments, place cards, the table settings you saw over there, and the, what do you call those things? Bon Merriere things on the table. Actually, I did help fold those things for about an hour one night. The only thing that came out of that was a lengthy discussion with my psychiatrist, who said, don't do it. So, Katie, I'm not helping with those things at all. Forget it. Also, I'd like to thank my neighbours, Mick and Joe. I think Mick's gone for a beer. Oh, no, there he is. Sorry. Thanks very much for providing lunch for the bridal party today and the running around of doing flowers and all sorts of things. To my son Ben, thanks mate for your running around today as well. That's also appreciated. Well done, thank you. One of the things you hear often at weddings is the boring part where the father bangs on about how proud he is of his daughter. We've all been there, we've all heard it. But tell me, let me tell you, I'm sorry, once you've done it, you can really understand that comment. I was really proud to be walking Katie down that aisle today and just looking at the faces of all you people, including the little kids who are getting in the way. And but that's okay. No, it was a really touching and very proud moment, and something you'll never forget. And I think you'll all agree, she looked pretty good, didn't she? What can I say? She looked beautiful or something. Katie, you look stunning. You look stunning. Thanks for that. Katie, just remember, it's not only your parents that are very proud of you, and this is a more sombre moment, but also your grandparents who aren't here. I'm sure they'd be very proud of you. Coincidentally, tonight is the 100th anniversary, I guess, of the birth of Katie's maternal grandfather. And the date wasn't chosen for that reason. It just kind of happened that way. But I think it's a nice touch anyway. People say that time flies. Oh yeah, it does sometimes. But tonight really brings it home. You think it really wasn't all that long ago we had that little girl and suddenly she's grown into a beautiful woman. It's an amazing thing. She's always been very caring and sharing of other people. That's one of her traits. She also has a very bubbly personality. We're all probably aware of that. And a love of the English language. Unfortunately, combined with those things means she talks a lot, particularly after a few glasses of wine. I do remember some years ago when she was very young, and some may have already heard the story. If you do, I'm sorry I'm boring you, but the others can listen. When Katie was very young, she used to always say, "Daddy," and being a very attentive father would say, "Yes, Katie." And then this long pause and she'd look at me and say, "I forgot." I think that actually was an example of her desire to talk, but not quite having the ability to bring out the words. That changed a fair bit as she got older. Katie always wanted to work with children when she was young. And that manifested into her becoming a primary school teacher. And I think that's very marvellous. She's a very caring girl, and she often brings the problems of the children home. What that meant is actually that Ben not only is an environmental town planner, he's also a child psychologist. This brings me to Ben. It seems quite strange when people say, "I welcome Ben into our house or our family or whatever." And I'm not going to say that tonight because I'd always like to think that nobody here is still allowed in the house. No, Ben always has been part of our family for quite a long time, and something we've been very happy for him to be here, and very proud of that as well. I remember Katie gaining some enthusiasm years ago, in about year 10, I think, as Anna or someone else mentioned, about going to school dances, and said, "Oh, Dad, all the girls are going to the dances now." I said, "Okay, yeah, that's fine." You know, you might associate with those that have got boy germs or something. And there was a group of young boys they associated with, and I think there's some names have been mentioned, and most of them are here tonight, which is, I think, is terrific. It's just a good thing to see them all together.
I've got to say, I really didn't expect that introduction to happen. I'm not going to be as good at fumbling with my notes as Sam, but you'll excuse me if I take some time to get some glasses out. Firstly, I'd like to say thanks to Rick, because he said all the thanks, so I don't need to say them to anybody. That's all over and done with. Following on from that, I'd like to say that I'm about to embark upon one of the great cop-out speeches of all time. I've always thought that speeches shouldn't contain any extensive quotes, but then when I was trying to think of something to say, it occurred to me that it also filled in a great gap when you didn't have anything else to say. I could, of course, have embarked upon the very time-honoured tradition of bagging Ben, but for two reasons I'm not going to do that. Firstly, I assumed quite correctly that Sam would do a good enough job. And secondly, it would have seemed a somewhat one-sided exercise. For I certainly don't think it's a great idea to bag Katie. If one thing about being married has taught me, that's just not a great idea. And certainly bagging Leanne has never worked out too well for me. So when engaging in my very popular pastime of watching Christian television, I was very pleased to come across a poem that I thought summed up a lot of the advice that a father should perhaps give his son. Of course, none of it ever occurred to me. But having come across it, I thought, yeah, that's a great thing, I'm going to adopt that. So I came across a poem called From Boy to Man, the journey from boy to man.
I know, it'd be beautiful.